Time for business now on the programme. Charles Pellegrin here. We'll look at how the stock markets are reacting to the US election taking place, of course, this Tuesday, starting with a look at what happened on Wall Street on Monday night, aren't you, Charles?
That's right, Stu. Whether it's the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, or the S&P 500, all those major indices slumped ahead of voting day as investors retreated from stocks to reduce risk in the face of uncertainty. Instead, U.S. treasuries, often seen as a safe haven investment, saw a bit of a rally. But looking at the longer-term picture, stocks have been rising steadily all year, and historical trends would suggest that these increases will continue. According to financial services firm Fidelity, on election years since 1950, U.S. stocks have averaged returns of 9.1%. That concerns more than a dozen presidents and 36 different Congresses.
Surely in the short term, though, Charles, some stocks must fare better than others, depending on who of the two candidates win election night.
Of course, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's policy platforms mean that there are potential winners and losers depending on the sector. With Trump, for instance, his insistence on cutting taxes and applying more tariffs is a huge factor on that last point. He said in Pittsburgh on Monday that he would apply 25% tariffs on goods coming from Mexico unless the flow of the drug fentanyl to the U.S. stops. This means foreign companies importing to the U.S. will be heavily impacted, while U.S. corporations will benefit from lower taxes, but might have to increase prices for consumers to make up for the higher cost of imports. On a different note, one industry that could benefit from a very particular aspect of a Trump presidency are private prison operators like CoreCivic or Geo Group. They could see an influx of inmates following Trump's massive deportation program, which would affect millions of people. Both these companies are currently trading lower. Perhaps you can interpret that as a sign that investors are seeing a Harris presidency more than a Trump one. But again, we'll have a confirmation of that in the next few days.
Maybe. Any examples then of stocks, Charles, that could feel the impact of a Harris presidency?
Well, on the campaign trail, the Democratic candidate has vowed to tackle high prescription drug prices, and this would hurt the profit margins of pharmaceutical groups like Pfizer or Eli Lilly. As you can see there, both of those are trading currently lower as well, perhaps drawing the same conclusions we did with the private prison operators. On the other hand, renewable energy firms could see an uptick considering Harris's environmental policy, and the same goes for firms in the building sector who could benefit from her affordable housing plan. But investing solely based on a candidate's campaign promises is a risky bet. All will depend on whether the winning candidate gets enough votes in Congress to actually implement their plans. And here again, there could be an extremely divided picture, with the House and Senate potentially in the hands of different parties.
Now next, third time's the charm as Boeing workers have finally accepted the company's latest contract offer.
That's right. The just under 60% of union machinists at the American aerospace giant voted Monday to end more than 7 weeks of strikes. Workers had walked out on September 13th, demanding higher pay and the return of a fixed benefit pension plan. Well, after rejecting Boeing's first two offers, they did get most of the pay hike they'd been demanding, but not the pensions. Brian Quinn has the details.
It's back to work at Boeing as union members voted Monday to accept its latest contract offer, ending a more than 7-week-long strike that has cost the company and its 33,000 union workers an estimated $10 billion.
Our membership voted to accept this contract by 59%. I'm proud of this membership. You can be proud of yourselves as well. You stood strong and you stood tall and you won.
The deal includes a 38% pay hike over 4 years, with a $12,000 signing bonus, annual performance bonuses, and increased company contributions to workers' individual 401k retirement accounts. It also includes a commitment from the company to produce its next passenger jets at union facilities in the Pacific Northwest. Strikers forced to let go of one key demand, the return of fixed benefit company pensions, jettisoned in 2014 as a cost-cutting measure.
In the private sector today, about 1 in 10 workers is enrolled in a defined benefit pension plan. These plans remain kind of overwhelmingly concentrated in financial services, not manufacturing workers.
The deal marks the end of a difficult chapter for new CEO Kelly Ortberg, who was appointed in August to stabilize the company as it lurched from one quality control and safety mishap to the next. But it doesn't necessarily mean clear skies ahead. Boeing has announced 17,000 layoffs while launching a $24 billion stock sale to keep its debt from being downgraded to junk status. Meanwhile, the company is facing a delivery backlog of more than 6,000 planes. Ortberg says it will take weeks to get production back up to speed, with deliveries expected in the single digits for months to come.
Let's turn our sights to Europe now. What's the picture like on the stock markets here, Sean?
Well, faced with the same uncertainty around the U.S. election, stocks are trading flat on the major bourses here. The FTSE in London down below, the flat line just barely, and the same goes for the other two, the Press CAC and the DAX in Frankfurt. And in addition to that, the U.S. Federal Reserve will also share a new rate decision this Thursday, which will be closely followed by investors. A quarter-point rate cut is expected.
And we're going to end here in France with steep job cuts at a major supermarket chain.
Auchan is the name of that chain. It's expected on Tuesday to announce a new wave of redundancies, which could affect up to 2,300 jobs, according to French media. They should be confirming that plan during a meeting with union representatives this Tuesday. The supermarket had already laid off thousands of employees in 2019 and 2020. That group has faced tough times, especially with the invasion of Ukraine. Auchan had big operations in Russia.
Sean, thanks very much. Sean Pellegrin bringing us the business news here on France 24.